When you say they said you were about to make it, what do you mean by make it? So like, you about to just become hella famous out of nowhere, or what? Like, what's the process
like,
behind making it?
Oh, my soul, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm already rich. You feel me? So I'm rich and well, like real life though. Like, all right, fuck the money. I'm rich for real. Like,
she rich in love.
You in wealth and health and love and oh my, I'm so enriched with so many.
She was a rising rapper from Oakland, confident, driven, and finally gaining recognition beyond her city. Known as DaGod, she stood out not only for her bold lyrics, but for how quickly her name was spreading through the underground rap scene. Her online presence was growing. Performances were increasing, and her career was starting to align with the image she had built for herself. Then, one weekend event changed everything. It was supposed to be a normal day, a community appearance, a music promotion.
Yeah, Freestyle Friday, hello? Up in the 216, you gotta know it. Hello? Yeah, hey, look, and I'm really having, I'm nothing like when I bet ons, who gon' fight?
A chance to connect with supporters. Flyers had gone out. Fans knew where to show up, and cameras were ready. But just hours later, the same location turned into a crime scene. Reports came in of gunfire in the parking lot. Witnesses scattered, vehicles sped off, and police soon arrived to find a young woman suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The identity of the victim would soon stun many who had followed her journey. Who was the real target? Was this random, or was someone waiting for her? And what really happened during those few chaotic minutes before the shots were fired? The deeper investigators looked, the more the story began to stretch beyond a single moment, touching on personal ties, online activities, and unresolved disputes. As detectives tried to piece together her final hours, the details painted a picture of ambition, visibility, and potential danger that followed her success. If you are drawn to true crime stories that reveal hidden truths, we invite you to subscribe. Your support enables us to share real cases, raise awareness, and give a voice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. Before we begin, tell us in the comments where you are watching from and share your thoughts as the story unfolds. Welcome to Spotlight Crime, a place where we examine cases that shake communities and reveal what often remains hidden behind closed doors. Real stories, real people, real impact. Subscribe today and turn on notifications so you won't miss what comes next. Aliana Green, publicly known as DaGod, was born and raised in Oakland, California, a city long known for its deep-rooted hip-hop and independent music culture. She grew up in the East Bay area, where music, dance, and local street performances formed part of everyday community life. Her family structure was typical of many working-class Oakland households. Records indicate she attended local public schools through her teenage years and developed an interest in poetry and creative writing before shifting that interest toward rap. In her late teens, she began recording short freestyle clips using a phone camera and uploading them to early social media platforms. These clips gained limited attention but helped her build early recognition within her neighborhood. As she improved, she began performing at open mic nights, youth centers, and small community stages across Oakland. Local event flyers listed her under a different name at first, a variation of the GOAT, a self-chosen tag representing her belief in personal excellence. By her early 20s, she decided to rebrand. The name DaGod emerged as a statement of confidence and control over artistry. According to interviews given during her rise,
And I finally got a project that I want to push till the wheels fall off. Like, mother gotta get tired of these songs. Like, you gotta get tired of the songs. You gotta get tired of how I packaged it up. Like, I finally got the package. I ain't never had a package.
the name was intended to signal creative independence and resilience. Her music catalog grew over time. Two of her better-known singles, Control a Freestyle and Press sh*T, gained notable traction on YouTube and Bay Area-based music blogs, such as Thizzler on the Roof. These releases position her within the expanding roster of independent West Coast female rappers gaining local visibility without major label backing. As she continued producing music videos and studio freestyles, DaGod developed a recognizable online image built around bold statements, assertive lyrics, and confident performances. She communicated directly with followers on Instagram, where her account eventually passed 20,000 followers. Her promotional strategy was straightforward: consistent short-form content, interactive live streams, and reposting of fan-created clips. This approach kept her name circulating and helped her secure small bookings across California. Her public image reflected the persona of a determined artist building a brand from minimal resources. She often described herself as self-made and relied on community videographers and independent producers for her projects. The visibility she achieved online soon led to invitations for performances outside her home state, including New York, Virginia, and Texas, where she appeared at independent artist showcases and small club events. By mid-2024, DaGod's career appeared to be advancing toward a larger regional presence. In the weeks leading up to July 2024, DaGod maintained a visible schedule of appearances. She was featured in multiple small venue lineups across Northern California and was promoting upcoming video shoots. Social media posts from late June 2024 indicated travel between Los Angeles and Oakland, where she was finalizing promotional plans for a community-based event. Among those promotions was a grand opening celebration for a local beauty supply store named Glamour Beauty Supply, located in East Oakland. The business planned a combined launch and meet-and-greet event to attract customers. DaGod was announced as a special guest to support the launch and draw foot traffic to her fan base. Flyers were posted both online and in local neighborhoods featuring her name and image. During the final week before the event, she remained active on Instagram stories, reposting promotional content and responding to supporters. Comments from followers described excitement to meet her at the store appearance. Nothing on her public accounts indicated distress or any security concern. Within the same period, she was associated with other local artists and small business partners, including hair and fashion entrepreneurs who collaborated with her for endorsements. There were no publicly verified disputes or major controversies reported in local media before the incident, though observers later referenced general online disagreements typical within the regional rap scene. Her connection to Glamour Beauty Supply appeared purely promotional, a standard appearance to support a community business while expanding her public reach. On Saturday, July 13, 2024, the event location was Glamour Beauty Supply, a small retail store situated within a shopping strip in Oakland, bordered by other local businesses and a shared parking lot area. The grand opening event had been scheduled for the afternoon to early evening hours, allowing for performances, meet-and-greets, and photo sessions with fans. Attendees included store employees, invited guests, local supporters, and other small-scale artists connected to Oakland's entertainment scene. Multiple video clips later posted online confirmed a modest crowd size, consistent with community-level function rather than a large concert. According to witnesses interviewed afterward, DaGod arrived at the event during daylight hours. She was seen greeting attendees, taking pictures, and engaging in short conversations. No verified reports describe physical altercations or major tension during the main portion of the event. However, several accounts mention a noticeable group gathering near vehicles parked at the edge of the lot shortly before the gunfire occurred. Environmental details reported include limited on-site security, standard retail lot lighting, and nearby camera coverage from adjoining stores. Weather conditions were clear, with visibility remaining good into the early evening. The timeline before the shooting places DaGod outside, near vehicles, and participants preparing to leave when the situation changed abruptly. At approximately early evening hours, reports of multiple gunshots were received by the Oakland Police Department. Witnesses described hearing rapid firing near the parking area adjacent to the store. Video evidence from phones captured partial audio of the event, but not a clear view of the shooter. Immediate reaction from attendees included people running for cover, entering vehicles, and leaving the scene rapidly. Within minutes, responding officers and emergency medical teams arrived. Upon arrival, law enforcement located a female victim later confirmed to be DaGod, suffering from several gunshot wounds. Another unidentified individual at the scene sustained non-fatal injuries. Medical personnel administered aid before transporting both victims to a nearby hospital. Despite emergency treatment efforts, DaGod was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The second victim was stabilized. Police secured the area with crime scene tape and began forensic collection, including recovery of shell casings, documentation of vehicle placements, and canvassing for witnesses. Surveillance footage from surrounding businesses was requested to identify movements before and after the gunfire. Witness statements were gathered, though accounts varied on the number of shots heard and the description of possible suspects. Some described a vehicle leaving the lot at high speed immediately following the incident. No official identification of a shooter or motive was publicly released in the immediate aftermath. Investigators classified the case as an active homicide investigation and requested public assistance for any leads or footage. As of current available information, the Oakland Police Department continues to review evidence and interview witnesses. The shooting resulted in significant community attention due to the victim's public identity and the open nature of the location. Police arrived on the scene shortly after receiving multiple reports of gunfire outside Glamour Beauty Supply in East Oakland on the evening of July 13, 2024. Upon arrival, they established a cordon around the parking lot and surrounding area. Officers secured a perimeter to preserve evidence, while medical personnel attended to two victims, one later identified as Aliana Green, known professionally as DaGod. The other individual sustained non-fatal injuries and was transported for treatment. Forensic teams initiated standard evidence collection procedures. Multiple shell casings were recovered near parked vehicles, primarily concentrated in a section of the lot close to the storefront entrance. The casings were identified as 9mm caliber, consistent with a semi-automatic handgun. Ballistic testing was later performed to determine if they matched any known weapons in the regional database. Early analysis indicated that at least 6 shots were fired. 3 of those struck the victim. The trajectory pattern suggested shots came from an angle consistent with someone standing near a vehicle or moving quickly through the lot. Investigators also found signs of rush departure, tire marks indicating abrupt acceleration, and scattered debris consistent with a fast exit from the scene. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from nearby establishments, including the beauty supply store, an adjacent liquor store, and a traffic camera position along the main road. The footage provided partial visuals of the incident. One camera captured flashes believed to be muzzle fire, but lacked clear facial identification due to lighting conditions and movement. Several vehicles were recorded, leaving the scene seconds after the shooting. A dark-colored sedan and a white SUV were of particular interest. License plates were not clearly visible. Investigators attempted to enhance the footage using digital tools, but image quality remained insufficient for direct identification. Witness statements collected that night varied significantly. Some described hearing an argument before the shots, while others reported no prior disturbance. A few mentioned seeing a person in dark clothing run toward a vehicle immediately afterward. The inconsistency between statements created delays in verifying an accurate sequence of events. Comparing initial reports with verified evidence exposed multiple discrepancies. Early media claims of a drive-by attack were later corrected when forensic mapping confirmed the shooter was likely on foot. Some witnesses initially claimed 2 shooters, though ballistic results indicated only 1 firearm was discharged. These inconsistencies became critical in understanding how quickly misinformation spread after the event. The Oakland Police Department's Homicide Division assumed control of the investigation. Detectives classified the case as an open homicide and began pursuing leads under 3 main categories: personal disputes, professional jealousy, and random attack. Investigators began by analyzing DaGod's recent communications. Her phone record showed no immediate threats or suspicious messages on the day of the incident, though there were previous exchanges suggesting ongoing disagreements within her personal circle. Social media activity in the 48 hours prior focused mainly on promoting the store event and new music, with no indication of conflict or fear. Detectives conducted interviews with close associates, including family members, fellow artists, and individuals affiliated with the beauty supply store.
Who? Can you say her name?
Tan.
Okay.
And she's adorable. She's charismatic. She's like everything that you want in an artist, right? And she was outlining to me exactly the 5 songs that she's going to put on her EP. And she had thought it through. And it's a marketing plan. Like, she came to me with everything. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm thinking to myself, please have the money. Please have the money. Please. And then the last thing she mentioned was, and I have the money to do this.
Several contacts confirmed she was excited about the event and had not expressed concern about safety. Others mentioned that she had been increasingly visible in public places, often without formal security. Attention also turned toward her professional environment. Investigators reviewed collaborations and business deals to determine if financial disputes or rivalries could be connected. While no direct threats surfaced, the possibility of conflict in the competitive Bay Area rap scene remained under review. The community response presented difficulties. Detectives noted a pattern of reluctance among witnesses, attributed to fear of retaliation or loyalty to individuals possibly involved. Some declined formal statements despite being present. This lack of cooperation slowed progress. Technical challenges also affected the case. The available surveillance footage lacked high resolution, limiting its usefulness. Vehicles captured on camera were never conclusively traced. With few cooperating witnesses and limited visual clarity, the investigation struggled to advance beyond circumstantial leads. Who fired the shots and what was the motive? Ballistics confirmed a single weapon, but the shooter's identity remained unknown. Was DaGod the intended target? Investigators explored whether she was directly targeted or caught in an unrelated altercation. No conclusive answer emerged. Did she have prior threats or conflicts? Some acquaintances hinted at disagreements, but none were formally documented as serious threats. Was the attack linked to her career visibility or personal connections? The timing, during a public event she promoted, led detectives to consider whether her growing popularity played a role. Why was this location chosen? The store's event was public, announced online, and easily accessible, suggesting premeditation. If the shooter knew she would be there, were there previous altercations involving the same individuals? Police checked for past disturbances at the store or nearby area, but found no matching reports. Each unanswered question deepened the uncertainty surrounding the motive and increased the challenge of building a timeline supported by verified facts. Local and regional news outlets reported the shooting within hours. Early headlines described it as the death of an Oakland rapper shot outside local business. Social media amplified the news, with fans and fellow artists expressing disbelief and confusion. Her final Instagram post, promoting the beauty store event, became a central reference point in discussions about her last appearance.
And I finally got a project that I want to push to the wheels fall off. Like, mother gotta get tired of these songs. Like, you gotta get tired of the songs. You gotta get tired of how I packaged it up. Like, I finally got the package. I ain't never had a package.
Comment sections filled rapidly with speculation, condolences, and claims from individuals alleging to have witnessed the event. Hashtags using her name trended across platforms in the days following. Tribute videos and clips from her performances circulated widely. However, much of the public discussion included misinformation, including unverified claims about motives and suspects. Media outlets reported varying details, including inconsistent counts of gunshots and conflicting statements about whether she was alone. Police later clarified that only verified information would be released to avoid interference with the investigation. Some independent content creators and bloggers speculated about deeper connections to local disputes or personal rivalries, but none of these narratives were substantiated by official records. The gap between factual updates and public speculation became one of the most defining features of the case's aftermath. The Oakland Police Department issued periodic updates, confirming that the investigation remained open. Officials identified the case as a targeted shooting, but did not confirm whether DaGod was the intended victim. Detectives publicly requested assistance from witnesses or anyone with video evidence. Despite appeals, cooperation remained minimal. The absence of clear suspect identification or eyewitness testimony restricted progress. No formal arrests were made in the months following the incident. While certain individuals were questioned, no charges were filed due to insufficient evidence. Law enforcement maintained that leads were still being pursued. An autopsy confirmed the cause of death as multiple gunshot wounds to the upper torso. Toxicology results were standard and did not indicate impairment. By late 2024, the department classified the case as active but unsolved. Updates reiterated that the investigation was hindered by limited visual documentation and the community's silence. The fatal shooting of Oakland rapper DaGod raised broader questions about recurring patterns of violence surrounding rising artists within the Bay Area. In recent years, multiple cases have involved young rappers at the early stages of recognition who were targeted in or near their home communities. Many of these incidents share consistent elements: public gatherings with little to no security, visible social media presence, and escalating interpersonal conflicts linked to the underground music scene. Local analysis of past events indicates that visibility often increases vulnerability. Rappers from areas such as East Oakland, West Oakland, and neighboring regions commonly use social media to promote events, announce appearances, and share real-time updates. This transparency, while beneficial for fan engagement, also provides information that can be misused. Public event postings often reveal exact times and locations, allowing anyone with malicious intent to appear without resistance. The underground rap scene in Oakland is competitive and territorial. Independent artists frequently operate without formal management or structured security planning. Disputes over music, online comments, perceived disrespect, or affiliations with rival circles can lead to confrontations. Investigators examining the DaGod case consider whether any local tensions, personal disagreements, or prior incidents of online hostility could have escalated into real-world violence. Digital exposure is another significant risk factor. Online personas in rap culture are often built around confidence and dominance. Statements, lyrics, or social media exchanges can be interpreted as personal challenges. Detectives reviewing DaGod's online activity noted that her platform was active and highly visible, attracting both support and criticism. Although no verified threats were made public, it remained possible that digital interactions contributed to offline targeting. Geographically, the incident setting increased the risk level. The event took place in a public parking lot outside Glamour Beauty Supply, a commercial space open to traffic and pedestrians. The lack of controlled access made it difficult to monitor attendees or identify outsiders. Surveillance footage reviewed by police captured portions of the scene, but not the full sequence of events, limiting clear identification of individuals present at the moment of gunfire. Oakland's history of public event shootings highlights a persistent issue: informal gatherings without adequate law enforcement coordination or private security presence. In this case, witnesses reported that there were no visible security personnel on site. The rapid escalation from a normal meet and greet to active gunfire suggests that the environment lacked protective measures. Another major obstacle emerged immediately after the shooting: the lack of formal witness cooperation. Several individuals who attended the event left before police arrived. Detectives stated that few participants were willing to provide recorded statements. Fear of retaliation and distrust of law enforcement are frequent barriers in similar Oakland cases. Without consistent eyewitness testimony, reconstructing the shooter's movements and motive became more difficult. Forensic evidence was limited. While shell casings were recovered, they did not directly link to a known suspect. Vehicle identification from security footage yielded inconclusive results due to partial visibility and low lighting. As a result, the investigation entered a stagnant phase, dependent on potential community leads that never materialized. The combination of public exposure, unregulated environments, and limited cooperation fits an established pattern observed in multiple Bay Area artist deaths. Investigators cited these overlapping conditions as recurring contributors to cases that remain unsolved. Months after the incident, several elements of the DaGod case remain undetermined. The primary unresolved issue is motive. Detectives have not publicly confirmed whether the shooting was personal, professional, or random. The lack of a clear motive prevents authorities from narrowing the focus to a specific suspect category. The identity of the shooter is also unconfirmed. No arrests have been announced, and no person of interest has been officially named. Surveillance data and witness accounts did not produce a verified suspect description. Police noted that inconsistent statements and limited visual clarity prevented positive identification. The case remains open and active within the Oakland Police Department. However, there have been no public updates indicating progress toward closure. The Homicide Unit has requested continued community cooperation and tips from the public. Conflicting narratives within the community complicate the case further. Some reports suggest the shooting stemmed from a personal altercation. Others claim it was unrelated to any known dispute. A few witnesses implied that an argument occurred before the gunfire, but this has not been substantiated with evidence. Without uniform witness accounts or verified digital evidence, establishing a factual timeline remains challenging. Another unresolved element is the presence of additional individuals near the victim moments before the shooting. Several attendees were seen around the area, but few have been formally identified or interviewed. It is unclear if any of them possess information relevant to the suspect's actions or motive. Despite public interest, no credible leads have surfaced that definitively connect a weapon, vehicle, or individual to the incident. Forensic results did not yield usable fingerprints or DNA traces. Without new evidence, the investigation relies on community input. Law enforcement continues to urge anyone with information to contact the Homicide Division. The uncertainty around these factors leaves the case in an unresolved state, officially open, yet without visible advancement. The events that took place outside Glamour Beauty Supply on July 13, 2024, left behind multiple unanswered questions that continue to surround the death of DaGod. Investigators still do not have a confirmed sequence of interactions leading up to the shooting. It remains unclear whether the victim encountered someone she knew, or if the shooter approached without prior contact. The event was publicly promoted on social media, giving anyone access to her location and schedule. This raises a possibility that the shooter planned the timing in advance. Lack of structured event security remains a critical factor. Had there been on-site guards or coordinated police oversight, the situation might have been controlled faster or deterred entirely. The absence of cooperation, limited surveillance clarity, and restricted forensic links prevent any individual from being formally accused. Police typically refrain from naming potential suspects without solid evidence, leading to continued silence from official channels. The unwillingness of witnesses to speak, the absence of clear digital trails, and the possibility of private conflicts contribute to a layer of uncertainty. Without first-hand accounts or new material evidence, the exact motive and identity of a shooter remain concealed. If this story has kept your attention, do not forget to like this video and share it with others. For more true crime stories that uncover the mysteries behind tragic events, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated with our latest investigations, reports, and discussions. Thank you for joining us in this pursuit of truth and justice. Together, we can shed light where darkness remains. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant.